Let's meet at the library. Okay.
Hi everyone, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a side part for absolutely no reason. Let's see how long I can stand it and keep it. Today, what we're actually here to talk about is my June wrap-up. Ooh, it's been so long since I've done a wrap-up. This is very exciting. I read not a lot in June. I read 6 books, 2 of which were audiobooks, one of which was the longest audiobook of my life. Maybe not literally, potentially literally, but also it just basically took an entire month to listen to. It was torture. And you know what? I talk about my books in order of least favorite to most favorite, so we're just going to start with that book. Oh, I've already gotten rid of a few of these books because self-care. I'm not going to keep around books that make me angry to even see the cover of. So, I don't have this first one to hold up to you, even though I did at one time own a physical copy. It's The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons. I know, yikes. Here's the thing. I don't know why I didn't trust everyone. Like, everyone on BookTube, even people who used to like this book, have been like, it's not good. Sam from Thoughts on Tomes literally keeps this book just so she can hold it up to talk about how much she hates it. I would have done that, except who's got the space for that, you know? It was so bad. And here's the thing. I don't know how to review this book because so much happened, and yet nothing happened. Nothing at all happened. Like, it was so repetitive. We read the same scene so many times of, oh no, we're starving. Oh, Tatiana and Alexander have had a fight. Oh, now they've made up. Like, it was just the same thing over and over and over again, which doesn't really do it for me. The characters were just intolerable. Alexander has anger issues and also is just like kind of a compulsive liar, I feel like. Didn't like him at all. He was way too possessive of Tatiana in like a stupid way. And Tatiana was an actual idiot. Like, sweet girl, but an idiot. Like, in the very beginning of the book, there's like an announcement over the radio that war is coming. And so she's like, oh no. And then her dad is like, Tatiana, I need you to go get this and this and this from the store. And she's like, okay. And then like she gets downstairs out of their apartment building and she's like, I can't remember what was on the list. Ooh, ice cream. Do you have creme brulee flavor? Thanks. Oh, a cute boy. I'm just gonna like ride the bus for a while. See where I end up. Like, what? There's a war that's impending. Your father sends you out to get things for your family, like food and supplies before rations start. And you literally less than 5 minutes later can't remember anything your family might need and don't even venture a guess. You just like skip down the streets of Leningrad. It was so dumb. It was infuriating. And then she never got any smarter. So, and by the way, like in the beginning of the book, I know she was only a teenager, but she was like 16. Like, that's old enough to be able to memorize a grocery list or have the common sense to write it down. Anyways, I have a full review for this book on Goodreads if you really want to know all my thoughts, but book bad. Also, it's like 800 odd pages long, and it's the first book in a trilogy. Like, 600 of those pages were unnecessary. I can't even imagine about the other books. Obviously, it's not a series that I'm going to continue. This book got 1.5 stars from me. Its only merit was that the writing itself technically wasn't that bad. So that's the only place it got points. Okay, next. Alright, my second least favorite book in the month of June was disappointing. It was the book I read for my Read My Oldest Books TBR. I need to come up with a catchier name for that. And it was The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. I have seen the movie for this years ago, probably when I was in college, and I remember being fine with it. Like, I wasn't like, wow, and I wasn't like, boo. I was just like, aesthetically, story-wise, and the book was kind of the same. It's like very meandering, kind of like slice of life, which is fine with me because that's kind of how The Lovely Bones was, and I really loved that book. But my problem with it was I hated the narrators. Like, the Lisbon sisters were very interesting, but I hated reading about them from the point of view of a collective group of neighborhood boys who just romanticize over everything they do and obsess with them. Like, it just didn't sit right with me. It was kind of voyeuristic and kind of ick. I didn't love that. I wish it had been told even from the collective girls' perspective. It still could have been like a plural narrator, just not those boys. Because ew, teenage boys, right? Yeah, I gave it 2.5 stars. Even the writing didn't do much for me, so yeah. Next, I have some books that are more middle of the road for me. I read a graphic novel, I guess kind of like a bind-up of a couple comics, called Killing and Dying by Adrienne Tomine. It was okay. There were some stories I liked more than others. I think it kind of started on a high note for me and then slowly went lower. So, meh. I think the first 2 stories were my favorite. The first one had a very like Bob's Burgers feel to it. Like, it was just this goofy family and the wife is trying to support the husband even though his idea is like totally wacky, but she's like, yeah, sure, and I don't know. It was cute. And then the second story I really liked as well, which was about like this girl who, she's in college and she's getting all these like weird comments made to her, and then it turns out that like she has an uncanny resemblance to a porn star. So it was a weird story, but it was really good. And then the third story I like hated until the ending, because that guy sucked, but the ending was good. And then the other stories were kind of forgettable for me. I don't remember them specifically. So I guess that says a lot about them. And it was weird because like the art style changed in them. I think it was all the same person, which I guess is like cool to change up your art style, but just some of them I liked more than others, and that's fine. That's how things work. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars. I was totally fine with this, but I did donate it because it's not something I feel like I would need to read again. But someone else might enjoy it, and it had a beautiful, beautiful cover. It had like a translucent dust jacket. Ugh, it's so pretty. Okay, the next 3 books I actually do have still, so yay! Next, I have Broken Monsters by Lauren Bukes. That's how I've been saying her name in my head, and that's how I assume it is said. This was my other audiobook for the month, even though obviously I do own it. Oh, okay, this was also, I got very confused for a second. This was also one of my books for my reading the oldest books on my TBR. Again, there's no easy way to say that. And this was good, but it wasn't what I expected, so I think I liked it less. There's like 5 different points of view in this book, and I think that's one of the reasons it didn't sit well with me, was because I loved Detective Versado. I could read a whole book just about her and her life, but like her daughter's perspective was okay. The journalist's perspective was annoying. I hated Jono. what's that one guy's name? The other guy, okay. And then our antagonist was like, ugh. So just, it kind of had highs and lows for me. And then also, I didn't expect this to have like a speculative fantasy-ish, horror-ish element. So that really threw me. Like, I thought it was going to be a cut and dry. Have I said the plot of any of these books? Crap. Well, it's like a murder mystery set in Detroit, in like the early 2010s-ish. So like that was cool because it's set near me. So I was like, I know that place. I know that place. But yeah, I think I didn't want the fantasy/horror element. And so that threw me because I just wanted someone to catch a murderer. So it was okay. I gave it 3.5 stars. But I do like that it's like vaguely multimedia. Like there's text messages and forums and stuff in here, which is kind of cool. Not a ton, but a decent amount. So there's that one. Okay, now we are getting to the 2 best books I read in June, and Zooey Mama. Ooh, I love these. Okay. Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Danler. You guys. Okay, first of all, I buddy read this, so hi, Anna. This took me by surprise. This was a book that 1, I bought like used and cheap, and 2, it was kind of a cover buy. Like, I had heard hype around it. Sorry, it's such a shiny cover. I'd heard hype around it, and I knew it was like a TV show, but that's kind of all I knew about it. Turns out, it's really good. Again, this is a book that's like kind of slice of life. So if you need like a really action-packed plot, this is not the book for you. This is very character-driven, but it's about a girl named Tess? Tessa? Tess, cool. And she's 22 and she like moves to New York and just gets a job as a back waiter in a restaurant, and wowee, such drama, such craziness. Like, I've never worked in a restaurant, but Stephanie Danler's writing, whoo-wee, I felt like I've worked in the food industry for 10 years and that I'm exhausted by it because, wow. Like, I really, really felt the atmosphere of this. The characters were really interesting to me, and it was just really good. I think it was mainly the writing that did it for me, but wow. Again, this one really took me by surprise, so I'm excited. This got 4.5 stars for me. Last up, I have an arc that was given to me by Jocelyn from Yogi with a Book for my birthday because she knows me, she gets me, she wants me to stay on brand. She gave me an arc of the Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. It's been a while, I know, but we know I love Kiersten White. Like, she has yet to disappoint me in anything that I've read from her. I love the Conqueror saga, Anti-Darken, and its sequels with my whole heart. They're not perfect books, but I love them so much. And I also really loved The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. She has some older books that I haven't read, nor have I read her Buffy the Vampire Slayer book, which I believe is just called Slayer, because I have no connection to Buffy, so I'll try it eventually, but it wasn't something where I was like, I need it. This, okay, so this is like historical, it's like fantasy, it's like amazing. It's about Guinevere, you know, like it's an Arthurian legend retelling, except Guinevere isn't Guinevere. She's just someone who is pretending to be Guinevere so she can infiltrate Camelot and like keep Arthur safe, which is dope. But then there's like so much more to it. Like there were plot twists on plot twists on plot twists on plot twists that I was like, I can't keep up. I'm exhausted. The characters in this book, I love. I love these kids so much. Okay, listen. I feel like I've always had this affinity for Camelot related things, like the TV show Merlin just really is deep in my heart. The Meg Cabot book, Avalon High, if you're not familiar, look it up. It's a good book. Was one of my favorites like in middle school or high school. So like I knew kind of the role that everyone was supposed to be in, and yet still things were happening and I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, wow. I really, really loved the characters. Weirdly, I think Guinevere was like one of the characters I cared least about. I just didn't feel as connected to her as I did to like main characters in Kiersten White's previous novels. So that happens. But I think it's because and this is, I know, something that bothers a lot of people. There is like memory loss as a plot device in this book. Like Guinevere knows that she's not Guinevere, but there's a lot of things where she's like, why do I feel that way? Wait, why can't I remember that? Which I don't care about the memory loss part. Like I know that's a trope that bothers people. It doesn't bother me that much. But it bothered me because I felt like I couldn't connect to her character because she didn't even feel connected to herself. I don't know. But like Arthur, 10 out of 10. Mordred, 10 out of 10. Side characters, oh my god. The Patchwork Knight. No spoilers, but she did that. I'm really excited. I ship everything in this book. Like there are so many ships that I ship that I don't know what to do, and I can't even handle the fact that this book is not even out yet, which means waiting for the sequel will be like well over a year. My heart is tense right now. Also, can we talk about how this is the prettiest cover? Anyways, I can't wait to get my hands on a hardback copy of this. I'm gonna cry. It got 4.8 stars. It was almost perfect, except like the writing didn't like blow me out of the water. It was like very good, but it wasn't like I was jotting down quotes every 20 pages. So that's literally the only area where it lost points for me. Wow. Okay. Oh look, I didn't purposefully match my shirt to my favorite book, but I did. Okay, I'm just gonna hug this book while we finish because that's how I feel about it. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry that I was constantly playing with my hair. Next time we're not gonna play with it and do the side part because clearly that doesn't work out for me. Let me know down below if you have any interest in any of these books or if you have read any of them and your thoughts on them. Tell me if you're going to pick this book up when it comes out in November of this year. And be sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up so I know that you like what I'm doing. Okay, you'll see more of me soon. Bye!